Hey, I wanted to get on here because I saw this video on TikTok where this woman was talking about how a woman takes care of a child and makes all these sacrifices and, feeds them every day and make sure they got a roof over their head, all the things that the majority of mothers do. And so, from the gist of the video, I feel like her child has went no contact with her. And she doesn't see any type of valid reasoning that could be behind her child going no contact, especially with, in her mind, all the sacrifices that she made. I listened to the video. It was a long video, and she was basically building a premise to have some empathy/sympathy for the women in this world who get shunned by their children for what she understands to be petty. Now, I'm in the middle, and I'm in the middle literally because I have went no contact with my own mother, and for the most part, all three of my sons have went no contact with me. Now, it's not official no contact because if they need a coin, they're gonna reach out. If they need my help for something, they're gonna reach out. But if they don't need me for anything, I don't hear from them. I think I barely heard from them for Mother's Day. But I accept that I was a piss poor mother. No matter what all I did, it ain't about what I did, it's about what I didn't do for them. Which runs the gamut of not protecting them mentally and emotionally, choosing them over men, choosing myself over being a single parent. Whatever the reason it may be, they don't see any type of reasoning for what they did not feel, what they did not get, what they felt they needed as they grew up. And I can't argue that. I cannot argue with your unfulfilled, unmet needs based on the decisions that I made while you were growing up. No matter how good the reasoning may be, it would still not stand the test of them saying that it was more important than what they felt that they needed to be able to have growing up. So I can't argue that. I wanted to make a stitch of that video so bad on TikTok, but whoever the young lady is won't allow you to stitch it. And she got a lot of videos, so I think she know what she's doing, and she really don't want nobody to stitch it. But, on the other side of that coin of me, cutting my mama off, I couldn't do nothing but that. Every time I talked to my mother, she found a way to hurt me on purpose, because she know what she was say that's hurtful, and she wanted to hurt me. Now, I can't tell you why she wanted to hurt me, but she did. And the thing about it is, I have cut my mother off before when I was young, like in my early 20s. I cut her off for a long time for the same behavior. So it ain't me that's tripping. I'm at a point in my life where I'm no longer pushing past what my internal emotions is saying about a person, a situation, or a circumstance. Because I do push past it. You know, I may say something similar to, oh, they didn't really mean that. I know they love me. That's my mama. Not saying it, but, you know, what is it called? Allowing the behavior to continue based on something of the sort, but not actually saying that this is the course of action that I'm taking. It just happens to be a good reasoning as to why I let it go on in the past. But, you know, even if you make tons of mistakes, at some point, if you can do better, then you do better. And my doing better is now allowing you access to me anytime you want to hurt me. Because if I did not have my mother blocked, where she couldn't call me, and that phone rang and it popped up and I knew it was her, I would answer. Now this is something I know for a fact. I would answer with hopes that maybe she gonna be nice to me this time. Cause she's done it before. That's the reason why she able to get away with the hurtful shit so much is because she done sprinkled in, you know, a little bit of good here and a little bit of good there. But for the most part, the connection is negative. It's negative on her end all the time. I could call with a straight situation where I'm being dogged out. She will see the side of the other person, which is insane. That's crazy to me. That she will defend and try to hold me accountable for, and she'll say something like, I know you know what I mean? And giving that person all the benefit of the doubt. That hurt me. You know? She don't feel no need to come to my defense. No. She don't feel no need to come to my defense in no situation. Which is odd. I mean, I may have mentioned this before on one of my videos, but she sided with the girl who my best friend was married to, that called her and told her that me and him was messing around. She sided with her. She sided with her so hard that she never even told me that she called. To this day, she hasn't said anything. And the crazy part is, the last time she called me, she said, had I forgiven myself for messing around with Orlando? And I wanted to say in that moment, oh, how do you know about that? She's never mentioned to me that woman called her and told her all this stuff about me, and I'm her daughter, and she never mentioned it to me. You don't tell me that ain't insane? As a mother, I don't give a fuck what the situation was. Why would you not call your daughter and ask her side of the situation? You just accept that whatever you and this woman decide that I am as a woman, you agree? because she think I ain't shit. She think I ain't shit. The woman that called you think I ain't shit. And if you stand with her, you saying the same thing. You ain't shit. So, but why fuck with me at all then? That's what I'm saying. But she you know, she feel like she obligated because she bought me out of that thing. You know what I mean? So she feel like she owe me to love me, but ain't no true love there. So me putting the wedge between us was for my safety, my emotional safety. Because someone who has been hurting me my entire life and was going to continue to hurt me had the ability to do so because I was answering her call. I didn't have to answer her calls. Come on. So I just, I think that lady might be right about her situation, but I would imagine that it's some things that happen to her child that went no contact that she's not acknowledging. That she don't think is significant. That she don't feel is worthy of a disconnect. When I stayed up nice with you because you were sick, when I fed you every day. Oh, and when you think about all the things she mentioned, that's the shit you supposed to do. It ain't like you done some shit special. You chose to have a child. So anything you do for your child, that's a given. That's not a gift to them. That's a given. You owe them that. Whatever you do, you owe them that. You can't brag on the shit you did because you think you was a good mother. A good mother would rather want to know, well, what is it? Because I'm sure this child has probably tried to talk to her about it. I don't know how many letters I wrote my mama. Do you know that she never read none of them? And when she said she didn't read them, baby. When she saw it where the story was going, baby, she threw that thing in the trash. She is not going to accept that she did anything wrong. And I'm telling you, she been mistreating me my entire life. Bitch told me all my life that she found me in the trash can because nobody wanted me. Since I can remember, she been telling me that. That ain't something you should tell a child. Why would you say something like that to the child that you love? That's traumatizing. And then along with the treatment, that was just like, whatever, if that's what you came here to be a human to do, was to make me feel like shit, baby, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. You did it. You did whatever if your purpose was to hurt me to my core, you done it. And so now I'm done. You know what I mean? I have no desire to unblock my mother. My mother is blocked, my brother is blocked, my sister is blocked. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have no family for real. I got my kids when they need something. When they need a little coin or two. But if something happened to me, I just realized probably a couple weeks ago, I don't have no emergency contact. I don't have an emergency contact. I do not have an emergency contact. Someone that's on some account for me that if shit is Sebastian, stop it, stop it, stop it. Don't you do that shit jumping around. You let that little dog make you act a damn fool. Stop it. He can't even get out. You're not gonna run me around for no little ass dog. Stop. Yeah. Made me lose what I was talking about. I probably don't need to be talking about it because it's hidden. It's this time of the month. It's the period, not period. It's her. It's live and living color too, baby. Started on the 20th. Because I was in bed all day depressed about, can't even tell you why I had to be so unhappy. And the crazy part about being sad was that I logged on to Facebook, and then Facebook started showing me reels of the month prior of what I posted. I said, damn, my life on the reel looked like it. That motherfucker fire. Man, if I wasn't me and I was sitting back looking at that, I'd be like, damn, she be kicking it. I want to hang out with her. And for real, I don't feel like I do shit. And I'm going to tell you, that's sad because that means I'm not living in that moment. I'm recording it. I'm not enjoying that moment as much as I possibly can. I'm making sure it get recorded. Because that reel fucked me up. I was like, damn, look, I be kicking it. Look. And I mean, it was showing me in all these different places in 1 month. I was like, oh, okay. So you do be doing some shit you just don't remember. That's because, 99.9% of the time I'm going to be by myself. And speaking of that's being by myself is a good segue into the next conversation, which is the fact that Mr. Him is finna get ready to cancel the trip to New York City. After I got all motherfucking excited about going to see Come and Gone and Proof, and I can't really make it seem like it's negative on his part because he did fall 2 weeks ago. This Thursday will be 2 weeks. He fell while he was at the hospital with his brother, and his brother's girlfriend were both there. So he was being the supportive Uber for them because one of them was having surgery and the other one of them was going to be having something done to their eyes. And so neither one could drive. So he was being the supportive brother and brother-in-law. And went out to the parking lot for some reason or another and flipped backwards on one of them little things that you park in front of and hit his motherfucking head. But he waited 2 days before he told me. So that happened on the Thursday, probably Thursday afternoon. He didn't tell me about that till Saturday night and was complaining about a headache. So I was ready to cancel our date that we had planned for Sunday. He said no, he was going to still go on the date. So we went to the movies and out to eat, and he didn't act like he was, suffering in any way, because when he picked me up at my house, baby, he jumped out the car like a teenager to run around there and open that door for me. For him to be 77, baby, he moved like he way younger. And popped out that motherfucker like Jack in the Box and ran around there. And before I could make it to that door, he had that motherfucker open for me to get in a pretty ass Lexus that he was driving with that camel material leather on the inside. Beautiful. I ain't never thought I saw a Lexus that looked that good. But it's a 2026, so I know it's fire. But so we went to the movies and did all that, but since then he been complaining. And here's the thing that gives you the room to be able to say that he kind of playing games. because when he dropped me back off at home, he walked me to the door, and I wasn't trying to get walked to the door, but he was forcing himself to be able to walk me to the door. And when he did, he asked for a kiss. I gave him a little kiss and a hug and everything. He wanted to come in. I'm like, no. Now, the main reason why I said no was because my apartment was a wreck, but the second part of that is I don't normally tell nobody where I live at. So allowing you to pick me up was already a foot in the door. So you wasn't getting in the house if that motherfucker was clean. Because I know what you trying to get in the house to do. You know, you to feel like you finna get ready to take me to New York City. You supposed to lay down with me. You think that supposed to happen before we go too. And I wasn't even thinking about nothing but the fact that I ain't had none in so long that I don't want to subject you to that, because you're not going to be able to satisfy me. I don't believe. But let's not talk about that. That's not really important. The point is, he was all up for, and then went all the way home, which is by my job, and wanted to come back, offering me a massage. Talking about he got a massage table, and I'm like, no, man. The date over with. We'll see each other next time we see each other. So we ain't seen each other since. Since that day, his headache been so bad, he barely can make any type of conversation with me. I mean, no type. He ain't got no room for conversation because he feels so bad. And I just been checking up on him, you know. But today, you know, today, I was like, you know, I think he gonna cancel. I said it to myself first. Before I said that to anybody else, I said it to myself. And so since I felt like he was gonna cancel, I called Southwest Airlines and split the confirmation up. So he got the original confirmation under his name, and I got my own confirmation. Because, you know, I had to call to put my Southwest number on there. And since I put my number on there, it's my booking now. So now he can't change anything about my booking. He could go on there and cancel his, but he can't cancel mine whether he paid for it or not, because it's not under his confirmation number. He don't know that though, you know. And I did that before I talked to him. So it wouldn't be like I did it trying to despite him. I did that before I talked to him. And so we had been texting today. And so since he was being responsive, still saying he ain't found out what the test results say about his CAT scan, I just asked him, I said, do you plan on, or you canceling the trip? And he said, depending on what the results of the report is. But I don't see how, because you ain't in the emergency room. You refuse to go to the emergency room, so it couldn't be too bad. Because if it was that bad, you would have been went to urgent care or to the emergency room. Urgent care can't do nothing for him though. He need to go to the emergency room. And if it was that bad, he'd have went a while back. That's what I think. But he hasn't been. And he, you know, scheduled to get a CT scan through some type of portal he got with his insurance. And he waiting on the results from the CT scan that he got. But he got the scan on the week mark of the fall. So he fell on the Thursday, and then the following Thursday he got a scan. which he waited a whole week to talk to somebody, you know, while everybody, including me, was urging him to go to the hospital. Because truthfully, since he fell at the hospital, what he should have did was go on in there and had that done while he was in there. They should have looked at him while he was there. He claimed he felt all right. But if you having steady migraine headaches now, I'm sure you had a headache that day. More than likely, he got some type of concussion. He is 77 years old. And when you fall at 77 years old, that could be like death. That's what happened to Mr. Hayes. He fell out of his bed and hit his ribs on the box spring of his bed and broke 8 ribs. That's how brittle they was. Because I cannot imagine no box spring being that motherfucking hard that it breaks some ribs. That's crazy. But he did. And then because he had already had some complications that he was dealing with, shit, he broke it. He probably lived a max of 7 days after he broke the motherfuckers. And he had just turned 80. Had literally just turned 80. Because he fell after the 5th of May, which is his birthday, and we was burying him on the 17th of May, if I'm not mistaken. The 17th or something like that. Maybe the 20th. But not too long. So, a fall can take you on out. And he know that as a 77-year-old. He should have went in the hospital and told him, I just fell and hit my head. I think it might be something wrong. They'd have did nothing. He could have been sitting down in the emergency room while his brother and his sister-in-law was getting taken care of. Shit, they probably would have had to overnight everybody. Wanted to keep all y'all for one night. Because he can't drive y'all back. And y'all can't drive yourselves. So we're going to keep all y'all a night. See how you're doing in the morning. But, yeah, but I'm sure he going to feel some type of way when he realizes he can't cancel my ticket. So, you know, this connection with Mr. Him probably over with. And I done deleted motherfucking Facebook dating. I couldn't even handle that shit no more. You know what I realized? I fucked up by saying I don't want no small talk. Everybody think I'm ready to fuck. Not knowing I'm the hardest pussy in the world to get. Shit. You gotta entice me intellectually. Make me feel like you smart than a motherfucker. It turned me on when I realized motherfucker's smart and just got a bunch of information in his head that'll help me live my daily life better. Shit. They don't give a fuck how ugly that nigga is. Just the fact that he's smart turned me on. That little motherfucking guy that ended up going to jail for fucking with one of his wife's daughters or some shit. What's his name? Brother Prophet or what was his name? I can't think of his name, but he's in New York City. But that motherfucker was smart. Smart baby as a motherfucker with his ugly ass. When I tell you he was boom boom, he was boom boom. But that nigga was smart. I love a smart motherfucker. I cannot stand talking to some motherfucker who don't even know how to hold a conversation. That shit just... That's how I was getting 30 when I logged on to Facebook dating. And all them motherfuckers was still saying, hi, what you doing this evening? What you got going on for the weekend? Fuck you, what? Babe, I probably looked at about 5 or 6 of them motherfuckers say that shit. And I said, fuck this Facebook date. Delete my whole motherfucking page. Fuck all these niggas. You know. getting on my motherfucking nerve. I was hot too, mad. That's how I know it's period, not period time, because I was angry. And I don't get angry too much, especially about no shit like that. So I know I was going through it. Whew. I don't know. I'm probably buy my own tickets. I might not be able to see both of them, but I'm going to see one of them plays. I might see both of them, depending on how my money going. So I'm going to have to get a hotel. At least I ain't got to get no rental car. See, and I got to get a rental car in Texas. Peggy gonna be surprised when I show up in Texas, baby. I'm gonna be looking good, too. Be looking amazing. Come on, Sebastian, let's go. Might meet me somebody in Texas that might want to go to New York with me. Pay for them come and go improved tickets. There's going to be some batches there. Oh, lovely. Peggy going to really like the gift I bought her too. Her birthday. I hope it fits. I ain't seen her in so long. I won't be able to tell. Come on. Come on. Woo. This hill kicking my ass. Kicking my ass. We going though. One foot in front of the other. Damn. That little girl be cutting me off. She be fucking on my groove. Cause I need to really push past her for real, because it's like right at the height of the hill. She just told me to stop so she can play with my dog. Hello. Come on, Sebastian. Oh. I caught her on her phone. She wasn't able to get up. Whew. Well, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go so I can get ready to finish my walk. So I'm good and tired.